Welcome to another week of A Friendly Nudge. So, this week we're making a childhood favorite of mine. It's something we used to call Stack Plate. So, it's got tomatoes and onions and shredded cheese and lettuce and cilantro and avocado and ground beef. And I'm using a parboiled rice and also tortilla chips. I'm using yogurt instead of sour cream and Mateo's hot sauce. And then the spices I'm using to kind of ramp up the ground beef is chili powder, garlic powder, paprika, cumin seed, and Mexican oregano. This was kind of a probably once a week when I was a kid. We had this stuff, and my sister and I loved it. And then I started making it when my kids are little, and it's like now they always ask for it, their friends ask for it. It's kind of a staple around here. So I'm just going to cut up some green onions, and all of this stuff is going to be for the topping. So really the toughest part is just getting things cut up, and then you're going to brown the beef with the spices, and we're going to be done. So and I'm going to go ahead and get the cilantro cut up. And obviously, if you hate cilantro, I would suggest that you omit that. But yeah, just, get it chopped up. Because the secret, I think, for cooking is getting everything done ahead of time so you're not scrambling when you're trying to get the meal together. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up the tomatoes. It just makes it a little easier. And you could use, like a large tomato and dice it. But I have these all the time on hand, so this just made sense. I want to get the skillet hot, and then I'm going to put just a touch of olive oil in there. You could do it with just the ground beef in the skillet. I'm using a carbon steel skillet, and so I'm getting that spread around there. And then, I want it to be hot enough that whenever I put the meat in, it's, kind of starts to sizzle immediately. So I don't want to boil the ground beef. I actually want to brown it. So, I'm going to get the meat kind of like dispersed across the bottom of the skillet, and then I'll add the spices to it. And with these, I'm just going to eyeball the spices. I just kind of sprinkle a little bit in. This is one of those things where I definitely am not going to measure it. I'm just going to put a big fat pinch in, and that's the garlic powder. So, and obviously if you hate garlic, don't add that. And this is the Mexican oregano, and you could also use Greek oregano. And let's see that is a chili powder. I think this is a San Antonio chili powder. And this is cumin seed, and I use the whole cumin seed instead of the ground. I just like the flavor and the texture. And then this is a sweet smoked paprika, and I use this stuff in all kinds of dishes. And then all you're going to do with this is you're going to brown it until there's not any pink showing. So, and I'm going to add a good fat pinch of salt in. So it's got that, now I've got the salt covered. You could add pepper to it too. There's just so many other flavors in there. I didn't really feel like it needed it. But once we get it, I'm going to test it, make sure. Because I want to see, does it need more salt? And the flavoring on it was perfect. So now we're just going to build the plate. And I just put some chips out. You could use more or less, or you could make it without them. This is as a kid, they always had Doritos. And then I'm going to put the rice down. And you could use just regular rice. This is one of those kind of convenience factors. I buy this stuff at Costco. You microwave it for 90 seconds and it's ready. And we also use brown rice sometimes too. And then I'm just going to put, a reasonable portion of ground beef on here. I usually shoot for like 5 to 6 ounces. And then I'm going to put the cheese on next just so that maybe it'll melt just a little bit because the ground beef is still hot. And then, kind of how your order and construction is up to you. I'm going to add the lettuce to it now. And then put a little cilantro on there. And then, some the green onions that we cut up. And some tomatoes. This is, I mean, you think about it, basically this is, ground beef and a salad with some chips. Uh, and then you can use sour cream. I'm using plain yogurt because this is something else that we've always got here on hand. And then Mateo's, that's also a refrigerator constant. So yeah, getting all that in there. And now I'm going to add a half of an avocado and just cut that up. And you could use less. It's just okay. It seemed like the correct portion for this. And it's got to survive the taste test. And I can tell you ahead of time, this stuff is absolutely delicious. So have a wonderful week and play with your food.